The Trading 212 app has changed a lot in the last few months, from new features to completely different layouts. So in this video, we'll go through everything you need to know to be able to use the platform to its full capacity, regardless of how you manage your savings or investments. We've covered every account Trading 212 has to offer, so you can use the timestamps below to cut straight to the information that you need. But make sure you don't miss out on a really underrated aspect of Trading 212, their debit card. I really recommend watching that section as it's a bit of a hidden gem that most people don't know about. It's important to say that nothing we say in this video should be taken as financial advice. Your capital is always at risk when investing, and we are an affiliate of Trading 212, but we never let that affect our opinions. We even recently criticised some of the changes they've made to their cash ISA in this video that we've put on screen now, so I'll link that down in the description below. When signing up to Trading 212, you have 4 account types to choose from: a general investing account called Invest, a stocks and shares ISA, a cash ISA, and a CFD account. We'll start with their investment accounts. We'll be using the stocks and shares ISA, but the functionality of the Invest account is almost identical to this if you're not using an ISA or if your country doesn't offer ISAs. Within the Invest account, you do have the option of using the Trading 212 debit card though, but that'll be its own section later in the video. To set up a stocks and shares ISA or Invest account, you need to select it when first signing up. Then you need to provide all the information required to create your account, and this includes things like your name, address, national insurance number, things like that. And you'll need to provide some photo ID along with some basic financial information so that Trading 212 knows that A, you're a real person, and B, you're in a comfortable position to be investing your money with them. And this is something that every regulated financial firm will require you to do. A lot of people ask questions like, why do they need my ID and why do they need my national insurance number? And this is because they have to prove that you're not a money laundering criminal, and they have to report your investment activity to HMRC for tax purposes. Literally every platform has to do this. After you've provided all the information they require, you can then fund your account. To deposit, you'll be prompted to when completing your sign up, but after this, click the menu icon down here and then it's the big blue deposit button at the bottom. With Trading 212, you have 4 options when depositing money: instant bank transfer, card, or Apple/Google Pay. The first 2 options are completely free. However, after you've deposited £2,000 in total, you will be charged a 0.7% fee each time if you choose the bottom 2 options. So to avoid any unnecessary fees, you can stick to the instant bank transfer option. Then it's as easy as following the on-screen instructions to link your bank account and you're good to deposit. If you do decide to fund an investment account, you can receive free fractional shares worth up to £100. You can get these if you sign up to Trading 212 using the link in the description, or if you add the promo code FIN to your account. The promo code works if you've created your account within the last 10 days. You just have to click the menu icon here, scroll down to use promo code and enter FIN. That's capital FIN to receive your free shares instantly once you've funded your account, if the markets are open. If the markets aren't open, you'll receive your free fractional shares when they next open. As I said, this is an affiliate link/code, so we also will get a kickback at no extra cost to you. Now you've completely set up your account and deposited some money, and hopefully claimed some free shares. If you come to your homepage by clicking the home icon here, you have a few basic filters at the top that will show you a variety of different securities, along with a news section where you can catch up with the latest news that might affect your investments. And if you click the pencil in the top right, you can actually customize this homepage as well, so you can quickly view any assets that you like. But to see Trading 212's full range of investment options, click the magnifying glass at the bottom and you'll see a range of filters to help you narrow things down. Now, on mobile, this has changed a little bit, but on desktop, they've completely overhauled how this section works. And it's really quite confusing when you don't know how to use it, so I'll run you through both of them. On mobile, instruments are broken down into sections like the top movers, tech companies, most popular ETFs, and so on, and you can click onto each of these sections to see the full list of securities. Then if you scroll down a little bit further, you have some more lists to look through and options to filter by just stocks or ETFs. And there are loads of additional filters within these sections you can use as well. Or if you already know what you want to invest in, you can just use the search bar at the top to jump straight to that asset. Browsing investments on the desktop app though is now quite unintuitive, as the magnifying glass is part of the search bar at the top. You have to click this and then it will bring up their range of securities. From a user experience perspective, this doesn't really make much sense, as you would usually expect to be typing if you click in the search bar, so I imagine this will change again in the near future. Maybe after they see this video. If it has changed by the time you're watching this video, then let us know in the comments. On the desktop version, the different sections of assets are listed on the left hand side, so you can still scroll through and find what you want from there, or you can use the search bar at the top. In the left-hand menu, you've got the option of viewing the most popular ETFs, thematic funds, trending funds, different regions, and if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you have the option to browse all stocks and ETFs, which will allow you to filter to the exact types of funds you're looking for. To actually buy shares in a stock or ETF, you can simply click onto the asset and you'll have the option to buy right at the bottom here. But before you do this, you can first get all the information you need on the asset below, including this AI analysis section. When you've done your research so you know exactly what it is you're investing into, you can click buy and you'll be able to input either the value of the shares or the number of shares you'd like to purchase by using the drop down option here. And you have the option of either using the slider to decide the value, or you can click the keypad option to enter a specific amount. The other options you have when buying and selling, including limit orders, stop loss orders, and stop limit orders, are all available as their own tabs above. And we actually have a full video explaining each of these, which I'll link in the description if you want to learn more about those. If you select a basic market order though, you can review the order before you place it, and this will execute as a one-off investment. To set up a recurring investment into one or more assets, you'll need to come over to your portfolio tab, which is this pie chart icon at the bottom here. At the top, you'll have the total value of your investments, and you can see a chart of your progress along with an overview of your remaining ISA allowance. And then you also have the option to generate an AI analysis of your entire investment portfolio, because you've obviously got to put AI in at every opportunity. On a bit of a side note, I'm not sure if I'd trust AI at this point to do my research for me, but that's just my 2 cents. If you scroll down a little bit past this, you'll see the option to create a new pie, which is what Trading 212 like to call a portfolio, and you need a pie to create recurring investments. If you click through to create new pie, you'll have 3 options at the top: custom, model, and social. For this video, I'll only look at the custom pie option where you add your own stocks and ETFs. But again, we have a full video on pies if you want to know everything about them, which I'll also link below. Under custom pies, you can select your own instruments to build whatever pie you'd like, and currently you can add up to 50 different instruments at the time of recording. And it's worth noting that an ETF containing hundreds or thousands of businesses only counts as one instrument. Browsing then is the exact same as we've already looked at before. So for this example, we'll add a couple of ETFs to our pie, and these are just examples, not investment recommendations. On the next page, you can select the weightings of your pie, or in other words, how much of your investment will go into each instrument, and you can either use the sliders to do this, or just tap on the percentage and enter it manually. If you're only using a pie to regularly invest into one asset, then you can just leave this at 100%. And here is where you get to set up a recurring investment, as you'll now need to select either Autoinvest or manually invest. Autoinvest will let you set a date for when your money will automatically invest into your pie, whereas manually invest will mean you need to log in and do it for yourself as and when you'd like. We'll select Autoinvest to show you how it works, and in doing this, we'll need to decide how much we'd like to invest initially, and how much we want to invest as a recurring payment, along with the day of the month or week we'd like to execute on. Now, to fund your pie, you need to select the payment method as free funds, as this will tell your pie to invest the money from the available cash within your account on the set date. Then you need to set up a standing order with your bank using your Trading 212 account number as a reference, so that the money lands in your account a few days before the investing date to allow for any bank holidays or weekends. And once that's confirmed, you've set up your pie and it will now automatically invest the amount of money you set on the date you told it to. And if you click into your pie from the portfolio tab, you can make any adjustments you need to make sure you stay on track with your investing goals. Finally, if you're looking to transfer in an existing portfolio from elsewhere, or transfer your Trading 212 investment portfolio out, you can go to the menu tab here, scroll down to portfolio transfers, and then follow the steps on screen to do this. Moving on now to Trading 212's Cash ISA, this is a pretty straightforward account that hasn't seen too many changes on both the desktop and mobile app, apart from the variable interest rates that you'll receive. At the time of recording, Trading212 offer a boosted interest rate if you're a new customer that signs up via our affiliate link or enters the promo code FIN within 10 days of signing up and funding an account. Unfortunately, this boosted rate only applies to new deposits. It doesn't apply to money you transfer in from elsewhere. When using Trading212's Cash ISA, you can view how much interest you've received in total on the homepage, check your remaining ISA limit, and transfer in an ISA as well. Or you can click the piggy bank icon here to get a more in-depth analysis of your earnings. Below this, you'll see exactly where your money is being held and how much is in each bank, with a full history of your interest payments on the tab to the right. Other than that, there's not really much to it. You get a variable rate of interest on your cash, which is always subject to change, and the account is fully flexible, meaning you're free to withdraw as many times as you like without penalty, and you can redeposit that same amount into the account without losing your ISA limit. Contrary to what some people say though, the Trading212 Cash ISA does not use QMMFs or qualifying money market funds within the account, meaning your funds should be covered by FSCS protection. One feature I really want to cover is the Trading212 debit card that you can use inside their Invest account, as this has had quite a few things added to it since it was launched, and loads of people don't even know it launched in the first place. When using a Trading212 debit card, you can get cashback on purchases up to £15 a month, and this cashback currently sits at 1 to 1.5% at the time of recording. And you can earn interest on the money that's sat in the account if you wish to. Although this account does use qualifying money market funds, so you don't have to enable this feature if you don't want exposure to QMMF use. To enable the earn interest on cash option if you want to, you can click here within the menu and then here. But do note that QMMFs are classed as investments, and that acronym is also really hard to say, so that portion of your cash will not be protected by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. With the Trading212 card, you also won't have to pay any FX fees when using your card abroad, but if you convert your money into a foreign currency on the app, you will pay their 0.15% FX fee. This is still a low fee compared to their competition, but to be able to get around it is even better. They also use the real live interbank rate for their FX conversion, whereas many competitors will not use this rate and will instead use a rate that they've marked up, with their FX fees applied on top as well. So you get a great exchange rate and no FX fees, as long as you use it in the right way. Another feature that was introduced in late 2024 is their Invest Spare Change and Cashback option, which you can find by clicking on the card icon at the bottom of your Invest account and scrolling down. The Invest Spare Change feature will round up any purchases you make and invest that money into a pie of your choosing. And you also have the option, instead of just rounding up to the nearest pound, to multiply the roundup amount by up to 5 times in order to put more money away every time you spend. The Invest Cashback feature is basically the exact same, but it will, as you'd expect, invest any cashback you earn into whichever pie you tell it to. Although you don't get the option to multiply this one with your own money, it's just the amount that you received in cashback. To actually get a hold of a Trading212 card, you'll need to have set up an Invest account and deposited some money into it. Then if you go to the card icon at the bottom, you'll have the option to get your card now. You can either get a virtual card, physical card, or a single use card, which will actually generate new card details after every single purchase online. If you just want a virtual card, this is completely free, and all you need to do is select the color you'd like, and that's it. But if you want a physical card, you'll need to enter an address to send it to and a name to put on the front of it, then pay £5 for the production and delivery costs. Once you've set up your card, you can see all your transactions on both cards by tapping onto each of them here, and you have the option of setting limits through the dial icon in the top right. The way spending works on your card can be confusing as well, or at least it caught me out a couple of times, as I didn't realise that you have a main pot which is used for investing, and a spending pot which is used for the card. So if you are planning on using this, make sure to check where your money is being held first. Since its introduction though, the Trading212 card has improved a lot, and it's now amongst the best options to use in terms of cashback and fees. It sounds like they're paying me to say this stuff outside of the affiliate, but we don't take any direct sponsorship from any conflict of interest brand. This is genuinely just an interesting offering in my opinion. Trading212's CFD account gives you access to forex trading, and you can also choose to short assets or trade with leverage. CFD trading is glorified gambling in our opinion, and it's what makes Trading212 the majority of their money. Trading212 themselves state that 75% of retail investors lose money when using a CFD account. And when you make quote-unquote investments via CFDs, you don't actually own the underlying asset. You're simply betting on the price of something to rise or fall. We don't use CFD accounts at Financial Interest, so it's not something that we'll cover in any more depth.